Welcome back to the Master Your Money podcast with me, Marini Jackson, your guide to mastering credit, building wealth, and creating financial freedom. Let's dive into today's episode. Today, we're going to talk about something that is very, very important. And at various points in my life, I've thought about this too. I'm always thinking, or some people I know as well, or you may be thinking even, gosh, I need to find a new job. I'm not making enough money because I can't do X, Y, and Z. So today we're going to talk about how to create that financial margin without a new job. So it's not just more money we need margin. That is breathing room that comes between what goes in and comes out. The ability to handle life without panic. The ability to save, to invest, and to rest and make decisions from peace instead of pressure. And here's the most important part. You don't always need a new job to create financial margin. Sometimes the breakthrough is hidden in reclaimed hours, unused skills, and unnecessary obligations. And today I'm going to teach you how to create financial margin by doing three things: reclaiming your time, monetizing what you already know, and reducing obligations that are draining your money and energy. Okay, let's jump in. So, financial margin begins with your time margin. Most people don't have a money problem first. They have a bandwidth problem. They're exhausted, overcommitted, emotionally drained, and tired people make expensive decisions. Some of the signs that you have no margin are you are constantly ordering food because you're too tired to cook, paying late fees because life feels chaotic, impulse spending for emotional relief, saying yes to everything, having no time, or saying you have no time to organize your finances, and feeling behind all the time. And this financial stress increases when your schedule has no space. So, the first thing we want to do is reclaim our hours. And to do that, we want to first ask, what's stealing from my life without improving my future? So this is what some people call a time audit. So examples of that is endless scrolling, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you insert your favorite place to scroll. Watching excessive TV, if you're someone who, I forgot the term, where you watch like all the episodes of whatever series of whatever floats your fancy. I think it's called binge watching. Overcommitting to unpaid responsibilities, toxic social obligations, unnecessary errands, constant shopping trips, and disorganized routines. So this is what you're going to do. Over the next 7 days, I want you to do a time audit. You're going to write down where your evenings go, what drains you, and what actually produces value. And then I want you to ask yourself, what can I reduce, automate, delegate, or eliminate? Sometimes reclaiming that financial margin starts by reclaiming anywhere from 5 to 10 hours per week, because those hours can become your time of rest. Imagine getting 5 to 10 more hours a week of sleep. What can that do for you? What can that do for your energy? What can that do for your career? You can also use those hours to plan, to learn, to have a side income, to meal prep, or you can just use it to recover. I can say I've been guilty of this. When I was younger, I would definitely overcommit my time. Most nights of the week, I was at some meeting for various community organizations. So I sometimes would feel drained by the end of the week. So if I even wanted to do anything else, I was drained and I couldn't do it. So I had to do this myself. And life, sometimes can force our hand to do that. But we don't want to get to the point where life has to literally force us to do this. We want to make sure that we can take those steps to reduce things, to automate things, eliminate, or delegate it so that we have more time freedom. That's one thing that some of my mentors over the years have said, is having that time freedom means even more than having additional money, because when you have that time, you have more time if you wanted to earn more money, or if you wanted to get more rest or things of that nature. So the other thing, once we start reclaiming that time back, we're going to think about monetizing the skills we already have. And most people are sitting on income producing skills they overlook because they naturally come to them. And one thing that my spiritual father has said is, we're here to solve problems. And people can pay us for problems we solve. You may be someone who is great at handiwork around the house. You may be a great, beautician, someone who braids hair, things of that nature. You may be great with helping with meal prep, organizing, planning, and the list goes on and on. These are skills, things that you can do with your eyes closed that other people are really struggling with. They're willing to pay for help to learn it, but we need to take that time to monetize it. So with those things, you usually don't need another degree, business loan, or a perfect website to get started. You need problem solving skills, consistency, and a willingness to do it. So some skills that you probably already have that can create an extra margin for you are administrative skills, things like resume writing. If you're great at resumes, if you used to work in staffing or HR, things of that nature, and you've looked at resumes, you've been a manager and have hired people, this is a great skill. Also, virtual assistants. Some people may just need someone to respond to emails, answer phones, very simple things. Scheduling, calling people to schedule their appointments for them. I know some people in real estate or various other industries have people who they hire specifically to set appointments with them. Data entry, PowerPoint, even. Some people, I've been in meetings and I've seen some PowerPoints that probably, if they had someone else who that was their strength, it would have really been helpful for that presentation. So things like that. Financial skills. You can help people set up budgets. You can do credit coaching. You can do tax organization and also financial accountability for people. If you're more on the creative side, you can do things like have Canva graphics, social media content. Like this is how some people are social media managers, photography, video editing. If you're someone with more knowledge-based skills, things such as tutoring, coaching, teaching workshops, digital products you can create. If you have more of service skills, you can do meal prep, you can take care of children, childcare, elder assistance, house sitting, organization services. And this is something a lot of people think. They have what we call, or what I would call, the already do it for free. And the already do it for free principle goes like this. And this is a clue. Uh, you may be asking yourself, well, I don't know what skills I have. What do people already ask you for help with? Because that may be your monetizable skill. People may often say, oh my gosh, you're so organized. You explain things so clearly. I just understand when you say it. You should charge for this. Or can you help me with my budget? Can you help me with? And fill in a blank. Pay attention to those repeated compliments or those repeated questions you're getting asked. And I've done a lot of, well, not a lot, several of these items on the list that we mentioned. I do want to mention things like house sitting. If you have friends that you know, or even people that you know that travel, some people may not want their house to appear unoccupied, and just, seeing a car in the driveway, a person coming in and out. I know in my neighborhood there is construction still going on, so there's new vehicles all the time. There's construction trucks, service vehicles, service providers coming through. And for some people, they think because there's new construction, that may be, some people may think it's an opportunity to, grab some things for free, which they shouldn't. But just think of things that people already ask you about. And these are some of the ways that you can, the fast ways you can create extra margin. You can sell your knowledge. You can have things like mini workshops, ebooks, templates, coaching skills. Number 2, sell convenience. People will pay to save time. Examples of that, and I've seen this, grocery pickup, things like, you think of things like Walmart Spark, Instacart, Shipped, DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats. If you're someone great with organizing, if you're someone that does meal prep or even admin help, you can also sell results. And people will pay for transformation. I know one young man, he is a personal trainer, and he works with clients who want to lose weight for various reasons. Some want to become bodybuilders, some may want to lose weight for health, some may want to lose weight to get fit for a wedding, etc. You can also do things like helping with improving people's credit, having cleaner resumes, budgeting systems, and as I mentioned, the fitness accountability. I know I've personally in the past paid for a personal trainer and I got results. So I was willing to pay that price because I also knew that I had that accountability and I was getting the results as well. So this is an important mindset shift that you must have as you're going through this process to create extra margin. Stop waiting for the perfect business, because I don't know if you've ever played like double dutch. It's a jump rope game, and for those who don't know or have never played it, one person is turning the jump ropes at one end, someone else on the other turning the jump rope, and someone is waiting to get into the middle of the jump rope and jump. But if you're just standing there waiting for the perfect opportunity, you're going to be waiting, but you just have to jump in and do it. Focus on solving one problem for one person, and that's how income starts. And once you start doing that one thing for one person, it'll build from there. So, part 3, we're going to talk about reducing our obligations. And sometimes the fastest way to create financial margin isn't earning more, it's carrying less. So let's talk about it. some of those hidden financial drains that we have. These can be emotional obligations that we have, feeling pressure to keep up socially, funding lifestyles that you can't afford, overgiving financially, whether it's to other people, organizations, etc., or guilt spending. Another thing we can do that drains us financially is paying for subscription obligations, things such as streaming services, auto renewals, unused memberships, and convenience apps. Lifestyle obligations that we have or could have are car payments that are too high, an oversized housing, having expensive habits, and our daily spending routines. So, some examples of those things, let's start from emotional obligations. Some people may feel, well, if I don't go out with these people, it can be even work. Like if I don't go out to lunch, they'll think I'm antisocial. Or if I don't go out with these people, they may think, or if I don't go have a drink or whatever the people may invite you to, you don't have to always say yes. If you're someone who's trying to fund a lifestyle that you can't afford, you're hurting only yourself. If you have different services, apps, memberships that you're not using, and I have fallen guilty of this, then you need to politely unsubscribe or cancel those subscriptions. And I actually did that this morning for something I signed up for that I thought I would be able to use, but just the timing, I didn't make the time to take advantage of what that opportunity would be. So I sent an email saying I'd like to cancel this service, and I got an email response back like, well, it auto renews, but if you still want to cancel, you can still take advantage of this month since you paid for it, but follow these steps to cancel. And that is my plan, is to cancel because I'm not using it. The hard truth is that some people are financially stuck because their life requires too much maintenance. You have too many payments, too many commitments, too many expectations, and too many financial responsibilities. And your margin actually requires you to have boundaries. And sometimes the best thing you have to say is no. If you can't say no directly, just tell them I can't afford that right now. Or you can say I'm simplifying my life. Or I'm in a rebuilding season. That's something I use often. I'm in a financial rebuilding season. You don't even have to say financial. I'm in a rebuilding season right now. Or that doesn't fit my financial goals. So this is what I want you to do this week. I want you to write down this question, and then I want you to answer it. What obligations are costing me my peace? And then I want you to categorize your obligations as necessary, optional, emotional, and avoidable. Again, for the things that are costing you financial peace, categorize things that are necessary, optional, emotional, and avoidable. And this is the formula that you're going to use for your financial margin. You're going to put your income plus obligations. When your income goes up, and also your obligations are going down, that equals breathing room, which is your margin. And financial peace isn't about getting rich overnight. Sometimes it's simply reducing the pressure increasing your flexibility, and creating room to think clearly again. And as I said, I've had to do this numerous times. And when you look and you see, or I can say in my situation, I've looked and I've seen, oh my goodness, I can't believe I've been spending this much money on these items I'm not using. And when I close those accounts or cancel those subscriptions, then I had a lot more peace. I initially didn't do it or didn't cancel those things because I had that fear of missing out. Like, what if I don't do it or cancel it and I need it in a month or two? You can always resubscribe if you do come into those situations, or restart the subscription. But most of the times, I would say 99% of the time, I didn't miss anything. And if the opportunity came again and I know that it's something I was ready for at that time, I was prepared instead of just jumping in and just not even using it. So, this is what your plan is, your action plan is for this week. You're going to reclaim 3 hours, and use them intentionally. Remember, when we talked about reclaiming time, we talked about scrolling, the binge watching, and the other habits like that can take time away from us. I want you to eliminate one expense. So even if it's a small recurring expense, those small recurring expenses matter. Monetize one skill. So offer one service this week, even if it's something like babysitting. I used to like babysit, dog sit, house sit. It worked for me. And my colleague, because she traveled, she had pets, and having me house sit was cheaper for her than having her cat and dog placed in a kennel for the week or however long she had to travel. So monetize one skill and reduce one obligation this week. Say no to something draining you. So remember, you don't need to wait for a promotion at your job to create momentum. You can create financial margin right now by protecting your time, using your gifts, and simplifying your life. And these small adjustments are going to create major relief over time. And remember, your financial freedom isn't just about how much you're earning, it's about how much space you're creating in your life. Now, this is a question that I want you to ask yourself, and feel free to write it down. If I created more financial margin, what would I finally have room for? Again, the question is, if I created more financial margin, what would I finally have room for? And remember, your financial margin isn't created through intentionality, or excuse me, it's created through intentionality, not just income. So if today's episode helped you, I first want to thank you for tuning in. Be sure that you subscribe and like the podcast so you never miss a new episode on mastering your finances. Second, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Love to hear what value you got out of this podcast. And also invite a family member or friend, a loved one. Share this podcast with them so that they never miss out on a new episode, and also they can start their journey towards creating financial freedom. And finally, if you're ready to take the next step, go to my website, www.virtuefinancialsolutions.org, and you can find out more about my coaching programs, upcoming workshops, and resources to help you in your financial journey. So until next time, remember, you don't just manage your money, you master it.